Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios. It's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. We're glad you are with us today. For the last 30 years, from the time I turned on this microphone until now, we have had one goal, and that is to help you have a better life. You do that with knowledge. Knowledge is power. You do that when you transform your life, your actions, your habits, your behaviors as a part of that power. That power gives you the ability to transform your life. And God working with you, blessing you, does that. It's absolutely amazing. And so one of the things that keeps people from winning in an area of their life, like money, is bad products. Financial things that we do that fall under the heading of stupid, that are set up to benefit the company selling them and rip you off. We talk about them all the time. We tell you not to buy whole life insurance. We tell you not to lease a car. We tell you not to use credit cards. For God's sake, stay off the payday lender lot. And you don't go in there and pay 800% interest. Don't buy a stupid timeshare. We tell you these kinds of things all the time. There are a few of these spaces where we tell you the product is not only bad, but the vast majority of the people in the industry are bad. These are bad people selling bad products in bad ways. And that makes it like a triple lose. You got to stay away from this. The large majority of the payday lenders fall in that category. Large majority of credit card collectors fall in that category. And the large majority of timeshares fall in that category. Bad people selling a bad product in a scummy, scuzzy, illegal, lying, fraudulent manner on a regular basis as standard practice of business. We run into it all the time. We run into the horror stories. We get to hear from you, how you got screwed. Now, granted, you walked in there, you got the free vacation, in quotes, which turns out to be a high-pressure sales event that's 2.5 hours long, and it was promised to be 30 minutes, and there is no vacation. You spend all your time down trying to get this person off of you that is lying, cheating, stealing, conniving, anything they can do to get you to leave, buy one of their stupid butt timeshares before you go, and every word out of their mouth is a lie. They're scum. It's unbelievable. I can't, of all the industries. Now, I've had a few car dealers tell people Dave Ramsey leased a car, which is obviously a lie. I've had a few people say Dave Ramsey has a credit card, which is obviously a lie. But I hear every week that some timeshare salesman is telling somebody that Dave Ramsey has a timeshare. I've never had a timeshare. I have done almost every stupid, horrible thing you can do with money, but timeshare is not on the list. Let me just tell you. There is not a condition. The only people selling timeshares are the super high-end ones that you might want to think about doing, but even then, I'm not going to recommend them. For instance, Disney. The Disney timeshares are a whole different class of timeshare. But most of these things are just bottom feeder. Ugh, you would not let any of these employees, you would not let the owners of these companies in your home, and yet you buy a week of vacation from them. And it is awful. If you have had we're going to devote this hour to starting the process of uncovering all of the misbehavior in the timeshare industry. It is unbelievable when you get down in it, how filthy it is, how filthy these people are. It's unbelievable. If you have been lied to, scammed, misled, been pressured, been beat up, whatever, by the timeshare, call me. I want to talk to you this hour. I want to hear real stories from real people. I got plenty of them, but if you want to call right now, the phone number is 888-825-5225. Three of the biggest misbehaviors, three of the biggest scumburgers in the market are Diamond Resorts International. They're the king of bad. Westgate, and Berkeley Group, which goes under Vacation Village Resorts. Now, just go and Google. It takes 10 minutes. Just Google Diamond Resorts International or Westgate or Berkeley Group, and you will see what I'm talking about. Google Wyndham. You'll see what I'm talking about. You just ask TripAdvisor. You look at Yelp. You look at the Better Business Bureau. You just find not one or two complaints, pages and pages and pages and pages and pages of misbehavior by these people. Absolutely unbelievable. They don't transfer the date. They don't let you use the other property like they said. They don't give you the tickets they said. They try to throw you out after they promise you a free vacation like they said. You know, it's unbelievable. And they get sued all the time. Westgate loses a suit for high-pressure tactics in Tennessee. Here's an article. Timeshare buyers Nathan and Patricia Overton alleged that they were promised many things when buying a timeshare unit in Gatlinburg that later proved to be untrue. When you're promised something in business that proves to be untrue, by the way, that's called fraud. For example, they alleged they were promised a specific room during the Christmas season, but were later told it wasn't possible. Rooms were only assigned a few days before the visit. Westgate lost an appeal of the case, drawing critical opinion from the appellate judge, who wore him out. The judge said Westgate engaged in intentional and fraudulent conduct and willfully violated both the Tennessee Timeshare Act and the Tennessee Consumer Protection Act. He wrote in his opinion. And this article goes on and on and on and on and on. Westgate says this is an isolated incident. If it was an isolated incident, there wouldn't be pages and pages and pages and pages of people saying the same things about Westgate, about Diamond Resorts International, and about Berkeley Group all the time, over and over and over and over. And they're unbelievable. Here's some of the postings. This is about Diamond Resorts International. Lisa says they are terrible. The last 5 years, it's become horrible. Increased HOA prices through the roof. I've been trying for 6 months to get a reservation. I have annual points. It's become sickening. They're out of control. Owners must pay or we get foreclosed on our credit, yet our resort time is never available. This is fraud. I'm looking to get out of this thing. I think I need an attorney or a class action lawsuit. Cliff says, to put it bluntly, Diamond Resort International salespeople are scum of the earth and will tell you anything to get you to buy. Then every time you visit a resort, they want you to suffer through another arm-twisting, confusing sales presentation, and you'll learn everything they told you the last time was BS, and they proceed to feed you new lies. I'd advise staying well clear of them. Hang around here and find out about buying good properties at resale rather than retail. This goes on and on and on. I can read these for days, but I'm going to talk to you, too, about experiences you've had with the timeshare process. The filthy, dirty apartment that you're supposed to be getting to rent. The room, how bad a shape it's in. The way that people lie. They lie. Did I mention they lie? This is the Dave Ramsey Show. We're talking timeshare exits this hour. We're talking timeshare problems this hour. We're talking about the timeshare industry and what a ripoff it is this hour. And I want to hear from some of the stories. I've heard them, but just talk to some of you. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Let's go to Shirley in Wisconsin. Hi, Shirley. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
About 7 years ago, my husband and I went down to Florida because we love to go down there and see the water in the wintertime and get out of the Wisconsin cold. We went to a timeshare because we wanted to go to Disney, and the tickets are so expensive, we thought we'd save money. Go listen to the timeshare. We're going to say no, just get our free stuff and leave. So our 2 hours turned into 5 hours.
You were in the sales room for 5 hours?
Yes, sir.
Why did you not leave?
3 or 4 different people. We're to Minnesota, or I used to live in Minnesota. They say Minnesota nice.
Oh, you're nice. Okay, that's why you didn't leave. Okay.
Yeah, I'm nice. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, so we thought we were pretty good. We said no. We got out of there with our 3 tickets. We were so proud. We couldn't sleep that night because all we could think about was, gee, it's right outside of Disney, and everybody's going to want to go there. And they showed us the unit that we'd be, purchasing. That would be our place to stay. It looked beautiful. It was all updated. We had kids that are older, were empty nesters, getting ready to be empty nesters at that time. We thought, they're going to be getting married. We could use it for their honeymoon. Well, as it turns out, we went up the next morning and practically begged them if we could still have a second chance at that same timeshare because of that low $300 a year maintenance fee. So now we've got $4,000 still left on it. It was 7 years ago.
Good Lord.
We did the Financial Peace University. We started it the end of January. So we know how stupid we are. We are going through, we will be debt-free, including paying this off in 2023. We'll pay off $145,000 and just have the house left, and that'll be paid 2 years after that.
Wow. Well, good for you on that. Well done. So they kept you in there 5 hours, and it worked because you went back the next day and bought.
Yep.
And you're Minnesota nice.
Better than normal.
So the $300 maintenance fee, how'd that work out?
That has not changed, but we have a feeling that once our loan is paid off, that it will start going up.
Yeah, they get you either with the loan or the maintenance fee. They keep getting the same amount.
Right.
That's what we keep hearing on them because they're just scummy. So who owns this particular timeshare? What company is that?
It's through Silver Lake Resort through RCI.
Okay. All right. And were you promised that you could change it for a different one if you wanted to go to a different location?
Oh, yep.
Have you ever tried to do that?
Yes. They showed us the map. We've gone back there 3 or 4 times to them because we go to Florida every year. We can't find any place to use our timeshare for that. So we've gifted it to some people. We did have a daughter get married. We sent her to Hawaii. It was great.
So you have been able to get some other locations.
Yep.
That's
good.
It's
been very worn. There have been, the places that we do get are run down. They're not exactly what they showed us. We have actually stayed at the resort too, but we don't get the places like they showed us. We're back by Animal Kingdom where they have races that go till 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's just a bad deal. But
okay, so the maintenance is the thing has gone down. It's deteriorated. And have you complained about that?
Yep, we were just there in February and said we just want to give it to you back. We know we got $4,000. We'll even pay the $4,000. Just take it back. We just want to be done with it because we don't want any ding on our credit or I know we're not going to use credit, but
but they wouldn't do that, of course.
But they said they only take them back at certain times, and this is not one of them.
Yeah, not when you're here. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah. So with everything you've spent on it, over the years, you could have gone to nice places, couldn't you?
Oh, sure. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So it didn't end up being a money-saving event. It ended up being a money pit, and you stay in places that are pits. Yep,
exactly. We can never say where we want to stay. Like we like to stay on the beaches, get out of the snow. They never have anything. I've had an ongoing search for 8 months, which they promised I would always be able to find something if I would just use that. I've tried that for 2 years, and they have not.
If they paid you $1 an hour for the time you spent searching, you would have made your money back.
Yep, for sure.
Wow. Hey, thanks for calling. I'm sorry you got ripped off. You're not the only one. Jeff is in Idaho. Hi, Jeff. What's up?
Hey, I just wanted to tell you my story. In 2018, we went down to San Diego. Our friend owned a timeshare down there, and he said we can just pay the cash price, which was a couple $100 to be able to stay 3 or 4 nights. I can't remember the exact amount of nights. But we checked in, and, of course, they put the sales pressure on us to say, hey, come and take a tour. And after the tour, you'll get a free night stay with any of our resorts going forward. So I went back into the car and told my wife about it, and she was kind of perturbed about it. I said, okay, we'll give it a try out. They said it would be a minimum of 2 hours. I think it was about 3.5.
Good Lord.
And the biggest thing we ran into, though, is while we were saying no to this lady, we have 4 kids, and she started telling us how bad of a parents we were because we weren't providing vacations for our kids.
No
and
way!
They kept belittling us. Yes, I'm serious. Like my wife was getting pissed, and I was like, "We're done. We don't need any more." And it still took us probably 30, 40 minutes to get out of there by telling them, "No, we're done. We're going to move on." I think we ended up getting the free vacation, but we were so mad. That was the beginning of our trip, our 3 or 4 days, and it made our trip terrible. It was like kind of annoying. And then, like you said, is the resort was like a very low end motel. Like that's what we felt like. It wasn't anything fancy either. We're like, well,
and you paid a couple of $100 a night for it?
No, it was a couple $100 for the entire thing. It was
I
kind of
see.
a cash thing that they had. I think it just drives.
You remember the company name?
There. And I think Worldmark. Does that sound right?
Who?
Worldmark.
Yeah,
Worldmark,
could be.
Something like
could
that.
be. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
it was a terrible experience. My wife was just she was just so mad and just telling us how bad of parents we were, and like you said, they start getting dirty with you.
Yeah. How old were you?
Like I said, that was a couple of years ago, 36.
Okay. All right. Because I think if that ever happened to you again, there's no way you stay in there 3 hours, right?
Correct. No,
I can't think of anything we buy anywhere that takes 3 hours to buy it. You know, I don't spend 3 hours buying a car. You know, it's funny how they just the manipulation of this is amazing. Hey, thanks for sharing that. They told you were bad parents if you don't buy. Now that's a technique that works. Piss the customer off. See, I'm telling you, these people are scum. Regina's in Kentucky. Hi, Regina. Tell us about it.
Hi. This was years ago, but my husband signed us up for a one of those tours in Myrtle Beach. You know, and we had free, like 2-3 nights of hotel stay, and then they offered like tickets to some of the attractions and free meal at a restaurant and all that. So we go and we check in and stuff, and of course you've got to use a credit card to check in, but then they were going to pay it, you know, if you went to the timeshare tour. So we go, and at the time we had 3 kids, and I left them with my friend. She had kids. Well, she had to go like 3 to go get her kids. And I believe, if I'm remembering right, the tour was like at like noon. Come like 2:30, we're still sitting in that big room that they drug us in to do the sales pitch. And I had tried it like a zillion times to just say, no, we're not doing this. And she kept saying, well, so-and-so has to sign, you know, come out and sign this for you so that you can go. And I was like, I got to go. So I went and I got the kids and came back with the kids. And he was, my husband was still sitting in that room, and they wouldn't let us go. I mean, they just would not let us go.
That's exactly how they work it. Wow. I would pinch the kids and get them crying. Oh, the scummy timeshare industry. We're talking about it today. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. We're talking the scummy timeshare industry and the horrible products that they push and pressure and cajole you into. The number of times that they are sued. There is, of course, like there is in any scummy industry, a full spectrum of bad actors, from extremely bad actors all the way up to not so bad actors. Probably the best people in the business, as you might not be surprised, is Disney. And they have legitimate products. Still not a fan of the product, but at least you can sell it. And they don't lie and aren't sued for fraud and all this other stuff like people like Diamond Resorts International is, or Westgate is, or the people at Vacation Village Resorts, the Berkeley Group does. The number of complaints when you Google these company names on the internet is mind-blowing. I've never seen anything like an industry that is hated as bad across the board by their customers. So we're taking your timeshare nightmare calls, your experience in buying or trying to use a timeshare. And over the years, I've done this periodically. I've never done a full hour on it. But I know a bunch of you are getting ready to think about vacations as you come out of your quarantine. And I don't want you to fall into one of these things. The last thing you want to do is sign up for the free timeshare vacation and get stuck in a room for 5 hours. Norm is in Michigan. Norm, tell me your timeshare story.
Yes, hello, Dave. Thank you for taking my call. Truly an honor to speak to you, sir. Truly an honor.
You too, sir.
So yes, I'm Norm from Michigan, not the nice Minnesota people. I'm Michigan mean. So So, yeah, we went to Las Vegas about 15 years ago, and my wife and I, just to get away for a time, and we said, oh, we'll take this free tour. Well, exactly. The free tour turned into 4 hours, and the last 2 hours we were pressured in the office, and I told the guy no, 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 up to 5 times, and I got up and walked away twice, only to come back, and it ended up as almost an argument and a fist fight between him and I because I wanted to leave, my wife wanted to stay, so it's not very good. And I would just say that, they're trying to earn a job, trying to do their job, but on the other side, you have to realize that you're setting yourself up for a bad future in your whole life. And so people think about that. Now, on the flip side of that, Dave, my brother and sister-in-law, they have a timeshare, and we go with them, and we have enjoyed our visits with them and our stays with them, but we pay them for their use of their points, and we take a vacation.
Do you remember the company that theirs is with that's a good one?
They're, I think, with a Marriott. Yeah,
Marriott Timeshares they're right up there with Disney on the better. They keep their properties up, and it's a much better situation. I've actually stayed in some Marriott resorts just as a customer, but not as a timeshare user, and it's the same situation, same units, and we do a lot of business with Marriott. So very cool. Do you remember the company where you almost got in a fight?
Well, it was in Vegas, I don't remember
There's a bunch of them in Vegas,
name of the company, but we were there for a vacation. But Dave, once again, truly an honor to speak with you, sir. And I followed not your principles. I paid for my own college. I went to college, and I paid for it all myself. And when I got done with college, I was 24, and I made a list, just like what you said. I made a list. I did this before I even knew about you, and I paid off smallest to largest, my car loan, my books, my tuition, my blah, 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 and truly an honor, Dave.
You too, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for sharing your story, Norm. Appreciate you calling in. Congratulations. Very good stuff. All right, Terry is on the line in South Carolina. Terry, tell us your timeshare nightmare.
Hey, Dave. Me and my family, we went to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina 1 year. It's like 2 years ago. And at our hotel, it was some people in the lobby and said, you want some free tickets to the pirate show? Of course we wanted free tickets. There was a lot of other stuff they was giving away. And then they said, okay, well, you have to, go to the tour or whatever. And the next morning we went. We had free breakfast and everything. It was like 5 hours. We was telling them we was ready to go. We had to go, but they kept on pressing us about, you can go on vacation by the timeshare, you go for free and everything. It was like $20,000 or $30,000. So,
what did the tickets that they gave you? What were the tickets they gave you worth? What did you get for trading 5 hours of your life?
It was like $200.
Wow. So
it was like $200
for 5 hours.
Yes.
Wow.
We ended up signing it, and we couldn't go home and look over it. It's just here one time, so we had to sign it. And as soon as we got back to the hotel, I started researching, and it was like, a bad idea. And it was 48 hours before I could cancel. So the rest of my vacation, it was miserable because I had to go to the library, get a library card, write up the cancellation, because we was gonna be there for a week, but we only had 48 hours to cancel. So I spent the rest of my day and the next day trying to cancel this timeshare. But eventually, it's good thing I read it before I went home, or I would have been stuck in the timeshare.
Wow. Oh, so you got out of it. You canceled it within the 48 hours effectively, and they didn't come after you after that.
Right. So as I got to the hotel, I went and researched it, and it wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, all the bad reports that I'm talking about that are all over the internet on all these companies. Yeah. You
Yeah.
remember the company name?
I believe it was
Wyndham? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
They're one of the big ones. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And they said I was concerned about the maintenance fees when I was there, and they was like, oh, you can just buy groceries with this card, and then you get points to, offset the fees. But then after I researched it, you have to buy at least $5,000 worth of groceries a month to offset any of the fees. So I'm like, no.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you got out of it. 5 hours. 5 hours. Diamond Resorts had a class action filed on them. 2 consumers filed a proposed class action lawsuit against Diamond Resorts International Club and its collection arm and Experian Information Solutions over alleged inaccuracies on the credit report stemming from terminated timeshare accounts. According to the lawsuit out of California Central District, the plaintiffs obtained a so-called membership with the Diamond Resorts International, to which they were told they would acquire timeshare points to be redeemed in exchange for the right to use accommodations at certain resorts. Plaintiffs' familiarly, I can't even say it, charged that Diamond Resorts International, no stranger to class action litigation, used deceptive sales practices and made numerous oral misrepresentations and false statements during their sales presentations aimed to induce consumers into contracting with the company. The suit points out that the plaintiffs went so far as to file a proposed class action against Diamond Resorts International over this alleged conduct. Following the lawsuit, Diamond Resorts International agreed to release the plaintiffs from their contracts pursuant to a settlement which waived and canceled any and all remaining balances. So they had to sue them to get out of it after they were lied to over and over and over again. And that's one of the biggest players in the market, Diamond Resorts. And really, this regular, you just hear it over and over and over. We were trapped. They wouldn't let us go. Unbelievable. If you've got a timeshare story, you can call me, 888-825-5225. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Romans 14:9. So then let us pursue what makes for peace and for mutual upbuilding. Arnold Palmer said, always make a total effort even when the odds are against you. Jose says, first off, stay away from this company. They are sharks and will lie and say anything to get you to buy their timeshare. We recently went to a Westgate Resorts tour to get a discount on Disney tickets. As usual, we went to the tour and listened to their pitch. The sales guy I dealt with promised us a 2-bedroom condo anywhere we wanted for $247 or $500, depending on how busy it was. They promised us it would not exceed $500, and it was 100% for sure $247 or $500. 2 months in, this has been a complete lie. Our timeshare was about $10,000 plus the annual fee, and all the resorts we have looked into are $1,200 plus for a 2-bedroom, and we cannot choose our dates. They give you the dates of their choice. They lie. Westgate Resorts. There you go. Robbie is with us. Robbie's in New Jersey. Hey, Robbie, how are you?
I'm great, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
I've been trying to get through to you for 2 years.
Well, I'm glad you did. Tell me your timeshare nightmare.
So it was with Wyndham, and I was stupid more than once. I bought a Wyndham in San Antonio, Texas in 2010. Fast forward to 2017, I used it down at in Maryland, and the guy told me that his mother had cancer, and I'm married to a boxing coach, Olympic boxing coach, so he did all this flattery thing, and we ended up walking away from $19,000 all the way up to $77,000. And he told us that we had to go from all access to a deed. We would never be turned down. So move forward to 2018. We got turned down for my birthday to go to National Harbor in Maryland. We went to the Poconos. There was a rat. And I called down, and they moved us across the landing on stairs that we told them we couldn't do stairs because we're older. And then they refused to give us the key, so we couldn't leave. We were trapped there on my birthday all day long. Finally, I got a chance to get out. And then they didn't bother us for a while because apparently they changed president. Fast forward to end of December of 2018, we were in Virginia. And they told us we had to go, so we went. The young man ended up threatening us and told us that we had to go back to all access. I told him, you know, you lied to us. You told me that I would be able to do this, I'd be able to do that. I would never be turned down. And he said, well, if you don't buy this for an additional $30,000, we'll come after you. We'll come after your family. And I said, oh, really? And something inside of me snapped. And I walked out. I went and stopped payment. I wrote them a letter. I went to the credit reporting agencies and said, this is fraud. They have lied to me. And so they let me out of the contract in November of 2019. And I tried timeshare exit team. I was not impressed with the guy. And at the time, it was our last debt. And when we first saw him.
So wait a minute, you walked away with the deal you did. You walked away from $72,000.
And when I walked away, it had gotten down to $54,000.
Oh, so you still owed them the money?
Yes.
You financed it. What was the interest rate you financed it at?
It was at 16.99%.
Good gosh. But then you finally talked them completely out of the deal by threatening to sue them. Oh, my goodness. A $72,000 timeshare. Wow. Robbie, thanks for the call. All right, let's go to Chastity in Alabama. Chastity, tell me your timeshare story.
Hi, Dave. My husband and I were gifted a stay with someone from Wyndham down in Florida, and we got down there, and they wanted us to go to one of those presentations to get free Disney tickets. They kept us for 6 hours. We ended up buying what they call a discovery package, and we got 3 trips for $3,000 to discover their program to see if we wanted to sign up for a lifetime. And every time we went on the trip, we had to go to one of those presentations, which was, at least 2 hours.
Wow. At what point did you say, I don't ever want to go to a timeshare presentation again?
Really, after that 6 hours presentation.
But then you signed up to discover more of them.
Right. I can't believe they actually sell those discovery packages because once you discover it, why would you want to sign up for the long haul?
Yeah. Well, that's true. It's like a bad sample. It's like, hey, try a sample of our cookie. It's bad. Ooh, I don't want your cookies. Okay. Yeah.
And they would lie and say you have to go to the presentation.
But they paid you paid them $3,000 to get more presentations.
Right.
Wow. Now, what was the condition? What was the condition of the properties like that you actually got to stay in versus the ones they showed you in the presentation?
The one that my friends gave us, the one that's closest to Disney, that one was very, very nice. The rest of them were okay, not as nice as that one, but you cannot even get into the one on Disney. Like, he's one of the top tier people, and he could only get 1 day there.
Wow. I don't even want to think about what it takes to be one of their top tier people.
Right.
Ouch. That just made my skin crawl. Oh my gosh. Hey, thanks for sharing the story. We appreciate it. Open phones at 888-825-5225. So what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is there's 18 million of you listening. And I'm trying to tell you, as you come out of quarantine, don't go for a 6-hour pressure cooker thing, presentation on a timeshare in order to get a free night. Your life is worth more than that. Don't sell your time that cheap. You've heard the saying, you don't get something for nothing. You don't get something for nothing, something for nothing. You don't. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Oh, you just have to go to a little sales presentation or a little tour, and you get a couple of free nights. Meanwhile, you end up staying in a flea bag situation, dealing with scum of the earth salespeople who are not even real salespeople, who call you a bad parent. Did you hear that story? That was wild. Threaten you. The number of elderly people and these complaints that we find on the internet are unbelievable. And this industry is just full of scum. And I got to tell you, man, the Marriott Group and the Disney Group too, I can say you those products are reasonable. I would not buy them because I don't believe in timeshares, period. I think they're a bad investment. I think it's a bad use of your money. But it's really bad when you deal with people like this Westgate, this Berkeley group that has these vacation village resorts all over the place, and certainly the king of scum, which is Diamond International. I mean, these guys, Vegas is where you're going to find a lot of these guys. Gatlinburg and Myrtle Beach is where you're going to find a lot of these guys. And so you just need to be, don't go into those situations. And listen, ask yourself, what's wrong with me that would allow me to sit there for 6 hours? Because I got to tell you, I'd be there for 30 minutes and I'm gone. But that's me. And I'm not easily intimidated, obviously. So I don't understand. I mean, that they prey on people being nice. They prey on people with manners. They take advantage of you trying to be kind. And so since that doesn't work, being kind is not an option with these people. They apparently only understand one thing, and that's a punch in the nose. So we'll give them one. Like for the last hour, telling 18 million people you suck. There we go. There's a punch in the nose, because you suck. Your industry sucks. You're scummy people. It's a scummy business. It's a ripoff. People, stay away from them. Please stay away from them. Hope I wasn't unclear. I would never want to be unclear. That puts this hour of the Dave Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.